Hey there. So I've shared about laundry detergent, both other brand detergents and things you might want to watch out for, with the video about the 1,4-dioxane. And then also I've shared about Norwex's detergents, although I know gave a little snippet, so I thought I would share a little bit more. And I wanted to make sure that I highlighted that this is what shook me. And I've been using Norwex, their Ultra Power Plus detergent since 2014, and I didn't know a lot about the other detergents, but when I saw that the draft newborn detergent got an F on the EWG, I really was shook, because that was what we washed our daughter's baby stuff in. I really thought of all the detergents, that one was going to be safe, and it got an F. And even I had a nurse actually call me last month or the month before, and we were talking, and she said her husband's got really sensitive skin, which is very, people are having more and more sensitivities now. And she said she used a free and clear brand. And there's a thing called greenwashing. And greenwashing is basically when they're using either images or language like free and gentle, or environmentally, safe, all sorts of that. Greenwashing, there is nothing that actually certifies something as, free and clear of chemicals, except for the EWG certified program. And I'm not saying you have to use all Norwex detergent. If everybody has different preferences, but I would suggest learning about what's in yours. If you have a favorite, go and check it out. ewg.org. They have actually personal products and cleaning products. So, because knowledge is power. That's, I know, can sound cliche, but it is really true. And especially with our kids, grandkids, they are more sensitive, and their bodies are they're smaller, and things get absorbed in our skin in 26 seconds, and they're finding more and more things trigger asthma and other endocrine systems, and they're hormone interrupters with the parabens. And there's so many detergents that have fillers that are not safe and haven't been tested, because they don't have to test them. The United States only bans 11 chemicals, and there are over 50,000. They've only tested 200 chemicals. The EU has banned over, I think it's 1,300 now, but Norwex actually has over 2,200, maybe 2,300 now, that Norwex will not use. So our detergents are there's no phosphates, sulfates, no chlorine bleach, no fillers, no optical brighteners, and we definitely do not do animal testing. And fragrances, another thing just to let you know, if something has fragrance written on it, companies don't have to divulge what is in fragrance, because it's considered a trade secret. Their smell, so unless it is like essential oil, it is really not safe to be putting on our bodies. And when you think about our clothes, we wear them on our bodies, obviously, so they're on our bodies all day long. So that's just kind of my literal soapbox. Norwex detergent, this is the Ultra Power Plus. This is our first detergent we've had, and like I said, I've been using this since 2014. One of these has actually, even when my daughter was young and living at home, would last 5 to 6 months, and that was when we only had this detergent. It comes with a scoop, but I actually put my own teaspoon, because really all you need is a teaspoon. That's if you have a regular machine or hard water. We have hard water, but we use a magnet ball, so we can use even less. If you have an HE machine and soft water, you can actually use a half a teaspoon. More is not better with Norwex detergent, because of how concentrated it is. And actually, I would say, if somebody does not like the detergent, usually it's because they're using too much. So in one of the posts that I shared, there was actually a graphic that talks about why, it is because of the concentration, you want to use less. You can always add more and use more if you need it, but really, truly, you don't need to with Norwex. I still use this detergent for often like sheets or blankets, things like that. I use more the UPP. I also like the UPP because it can actually be used as an off-label cleaner, and you put 2 teaspoons into a water bottle, and this will take out stains. People use it on their grout, they use it on their floors. I had a stain at Christmas time, soy sauce on my white tablecloth, and my daughter proceeded to be helpful and use a candy cane napkin, so then it turned pink. Sprayed it with this, and within a couple hours I didn't even know where the stain was. So it's a great general purpose cleaner. And if you are, let's say you decide you want to buy some cloths, some of our microfiber cloths, I would recommend at least getting a bag of this. And if you only use it for your cloths, it will last you forever. Truly. But if you're gonna, you know, I mean, if you're spending money for good cloths, you want to wash them with a non-filler detergent, because otherwise the fillers get into all those microfibers that our cloths are made of, and they gunk them up, and we don't want that, because then they aren't going to work the way they're meant to work. So that's the Ultra Power Plus. It is our best general, you know, detergent that's been around the longest. But then they came out with a liquid detergent, and we have unscented, which is what I use, but my daughter likes the lavender scented, which is scented with lavender essential oils. 1 pump for a small load, 2 for a medium, and 3 for a large load. It really is that easy, and I have been using this. I probably use this the most because it's the easiest. It's just a squirt. Our washer has a tray that, you know, liquid detergent here, and to remove it if you're using a powder detergent. So because that gives more space for the water to mix with it. If you're using a powder and you don't have a tray that pre-mixes the water into the dispenser, you can put it in the washer before you put the clothes in. Or some people do dilute it in water themselves and then pour it in the bottom. So either option. But this was our first enzyme-based detergent. People love it. I love it. Enzyme-based means it is a naturally occurring enzymes that work for different things like cellulase and pectase, I can't think of the other. There's 2 others. I'm still learning, but they grass stain. So if you have a busy family, you're going to want to go more likely with one of our enzyme-based detergents. Grass stains, chocolate, pasta sauce, wine, ketchup, all those things, oils, you know, salad dressings. Enzymes work fabulously to clean the clothes and the stains. They match up with each different type of starch, or blood is also one. My husband's work clothes, we used to use either this with one of our boosters, because he is a plumber. He has icky clothes. And now this is the newest detergent, actually. This is our other enzyme base. This is a powder, but it's called, and it's PowerZyme. And it is similar enzymes that are in the liquid. It is just a much more concentrated detergent. You get about 100 loads, so it's not as much as the UPP. You get a scoop with it, and this one you do want to use the scoop. It gives the directions on the back, so you do. This one's not a teaspoon. It's because of the way it works. It's just different. You know, Tide, all those brands, they have a variety of detergents that, because we all have different things we like between liquid and powder, and different versions. That's kind of why Norwex has come out with different versions. There is about 5% of the population that is sensitive or has allergies to enzymes. If you do, I would not recommend either of these 2. But I haven't come across anyone yet. And actually, one of my team members, she had a little baby who had to have open heart surgery, and her husband and her son, who was only a couple months old, very sensitive. She had tried Dreft and a Melaleuca, and I think a Watkins brand also, and he had a reaction, and she actually was using the liquid enzyme and worked fabulously for him. So busy families, you can even use this on cloth diapers. So it's going to get lots of, you know, those stains and those organic stains and things out. So then we have one last one is our eco strips. This is great if you don't have a lot of space in your laundry room, or college students, or if you travel a lot. They come in just a little strip. This is actually 2 loads. You can, you know, they just pull apart and you throw it in the washer before you put the clothes in. These do have a scent to them, which is done with essential oils. And the scent, though, does not usually stay with the clothes. So that is something just to know if you're somebody who wants, you know, to have their laundry smell a certain way, which actually clean doesn't have a smell. We've been conditioned to think, you know, when our laundry comes out, it has a smell and we associate it with clean. But as I just shared, fragrances do not have to be, you know, ingredients divulged. And there are a lot of things in there that are not safe for humans or pets. So just something to think about. It took me a while to, you know, to learn that. And which brings me to one of the worst things we can be using on our bodies is laundry sheets. So our laundry sheets are basically coated. They coat our clothes with chemicals. They say to make it softer, but if you were to make one swap out, I would suggest to try our dryer balls. They come in a set of 3. This is an old one. This has gotten used. You get about 1,000 washes with a set of 3 dryer balls, and we do, they say on average, an average household does 300 loads a year. So depending on, we're harder on them because my husband mixes his jeans, and he has heavy work jeans like the Dickies with his t-shirts. He washes them all together. Whatever. I don't, you know, I stopped doing his work clothes a while ago because he doesn't buy enough of them, and I'm not doing laundry every couple days. Even if I don't mind doing laundry and kind of enjoy it, I'm not doing it during the week if I don't have to. So anyhow, sorry, I digress. This is what a newer dryer ball looks like. They don't all have these on it. This is just a special edition, but they're going to last you for years, and you can recharge them. So if you have a set of dryer balls that have not been working as well, we actually use 6 because we do use, my husband's loads are very big, and we found we needed a little more. They go through the laundry, they decrease your laundry cycle time. Often people don't realize static actually happens because we're over drying too long, and that's the main reason. So you can wash your dryer balls to recharge them in either a tube sock or the bag they come in, and wash them in the washer, and then you will dry them. I'm going to post about these a little bit, so, or it might already be there. So just want to make sure you know about our dryer balls. These are one of our top sellers. They have saved us so much money, and also on, you know, chemicals. It is, I know our clothes are safer. They soften your clothes, so that's kind of when they are flipping around in the dryer, they are softening the clothes, putting more air in so that they're drying faster, so your dry time is shorter. I actually learned that we're not supposed, the whole science behind the sensors, not actual real science. There was an expert, Norwex had talk on one of the Tuesday night calls they do, and they actually said it is best to dry on a time cycle without, you know, depending on some sensor, and taking it out right before they're, you know, like dry if you don't want static, and to not over dry them. So we are doing that now, and it has definitely shortened, you know, the time that they are in the washing machine or the dryer. So something to think about. You know, I learn something new every day, I swear, with Norwex. So if you were to make one swap, I would say the dryer balls. It might take a little while to get used to, because there really is kind of a conditioning that, you know, we're used to that smell, and it's a reward that we think that isn't really needed. If you really can't get over not having a smell, you can actually add a couple drops of essential oil to to the balls and then throw them in at the end of the cycle. That is an option for people who really, really love to have that, you know, whether it's lavender or some other essential oil. So I hope this is helpful. And if you have any other questions about what is right for you specifically, don't hesitate to comment on this video or send a private message for sure. So here to help. All right. Thanks. Bye-bye.